You are red as fuck, dude. Are you having a stroke right now?
No, wasn't red as fuck a second.
Were you on the water? You were on the water just the other day.
Yeah, but
though,
I'm
right?
not sunburned.
Mm.
That's the fucking deal.
You're just a soulless ginger.
Yeah, probably. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 26.
26.
26. We're going a little different today. Something that I've always wanted to do. When I originally wanted to do podcasting is talk sports. So we're going to talk a little sports today. Mainly, we're going to talk about the UEFA Euro Cup. We just got down to the round of 16. Well, we're a little past that now. We're almost to quarterfinals, but
Half of the round of 16 has been played.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the first half of that round, and then we'll talk about some other stuff after that. So I'm going to start with what I think. I mean, there's a few upsets in the first round, right? I think the biggest upset's got to be Belgium taking out Portugal.
Yes,
Portugal,
I agree. That was a shocker.
Portugal,
Well, they are the current champions. They won it last,
right?
So,
right, and typical American style. That they have the one name that I recognize in the whole tournament that's left in the tournament. And that's Ronaldo.
right.
Portugal. He plays for Portugal, so he's out.
He's out, but he also managed to tie the all-time scoring record in tournaments for a country, playing for your country. So he's like tied with the league, one more goal, and he's got the record all to himself. And that record was God, I forget the guy's name, Egyptian guy or somebody like that, I think. And it was 1954. I don't know the number because I'm fucking stupid, but it's up there, man. It's a bunch of fucking goals in a career.
Yeah. So
on the international level.
Right. That was an interesting game. I don't know. But before we get to their next round, let's talk about who they're going to be playing. They're going to be playing Italy. Italy took out Austria. I don't think that's any big surprise.
Who's playing? Italy.
Belgium and Italy play in the next round.
Yeah.
Italy took out Austria. Like I said, I don't think was so much of a surprise.
Sorry, the Swiss are through.
Austria. Italy beat Austria.
Schweizerland. Sorry, man. They're right there next to each other.
No. So yeah, like I said, that wasn't too much of a surprise. Another game that was, it was good. Decent games. Do you have any thoughts on it, or?
No, those games were good. Nothing too surprising there for me. The surprises really started coming in the round of 16, man. So,
that's still in the round of 16.
Spain.
Yes, Spain.
And then
beating Croatia.
Yeah. That was a epic battle back and forth until the last few minutes of the game. But and France being out, the Dutch being out, it's all very surprising. The Dutch team, man, is always so strong, and they always do so well in international competition.
Yeah.
That for them to be out already is just weird to me.
Yeah, that's the team I was rooting for, was the Dutch. So
and France too, man, with all the talent they had on their team, but fucking Mbappe, man, the shootout, right? So the shootout is the most exciting thing to me in international professional sports, right? Because it's just fucking the highest drama possible, right?
Right.
And for them to score all those goals in the shootout, and it came down to Mbappe sinking his.
And he's the
right?
best. He was their best player, right?
But he couldn't do shit yesterday, man. He had so many chances to score yesterday,
Yeah.
and he for a guy his fucking caliber, for him to not have fucking buried one of those balls, especially not the PK one,
Right.
that was like,
That was a shock.
That's the shit, man, where you got to be mentally on your shit. You know what I mean?
See, to me, when he took that PK shot, when he took that shot, to me, maybe I don't know enough about soccer, but to me, the way he shot that ball looked like he'd had a hard day, like he was just missing.
Well, all those blocks and shit and misses during the regular 90 minutes got in his fucking head, man.
That's what I'm saying.
100% got in his head.
Yeah, and because I mean, it wasn't a bad shot that he took. Obviously a lot of that's a guessing game on the keeper's part, but I mean, he looked like the keeper had time to get to it. You know what I mean? I know he just kind of fell over, but he had time to get to it. It was a great save for sure, great save. But I don't know. I think for somebody of that caliber, you think he's got to bury that. You know what I mean? He's got to put that in. No, that was a fun game to watch. That was fun PKs at the end to watch.
PKs are the best, dude.
Now the Spain-Croatia, what I found interesting about that game is we're sitting at 3-1, with 80 minutes in. I think it's 3-1. Spain has scored all 4 goals, but it's 3-1. I mean, that own goal was, I mean, all I could think of was, what was it, back in the early 90s or something, when the United States beat Colombia in the World Cup. And like Colombia's best player ended up getting an own goal, and they ended up killing.
And they murdered him.
Yeah, they fucking murdered the guy.
Murdered his ass. Don't fuck around, man. Soccer fans are serious, dude. They're passionate. That was a crime of passion.
Yeah, and but that one against, that was all the Spain. That was obviously all on the goalie.
That was such a trip.
I felt for that guy, man. I really did. I'm like, oh my God, that's Bush League play when you let,
there have been 9 own goals in this tournament so far. And
really?
There've only been 18 own goals in the whole tournament in the last something like 10, 15 something years like that. So they're trying to fucking break a record, which is great, man. It needs to be broke. It's a record that needs to be set.
Right. So that was fun. Obviously in the extra time there, Spain was obviously the better team, I thought.
Well, the Spanish are always deep on talent, man.
Mm-hmm.
They control the ball so well. If they catch a lead on you, man, you know what I mean? They're going to be in possession for the majority of the game.
Right.
And if you let them get a lead on you, you'll never get the ball back to fucking level it up, man. And that's how good they are.
Absolutely.
And that's what they did. That's what they did to them.
Right. So let's see. That takes up the first bracket. Second bracket, we had 2 games in there. We had Denmark versus Wales, which that game, I mean, Wales might as well not have been there. I mean, they just got steamrolled.
They're a little country, man, but
yeah,
they also produce some very brilliant players, man, that play all over the world.
Yeah.
So.
And we kind of touched
as far as I'm concerned, any country, I don't care what the fucking and the fucking Norway is a fucking prime example of it. You know what I mean? Any country can be competitive with the right talent.
Right.
If they have the right talent.
Right.
No matter what size. And just because you're a bigger country, I mean, obviously you're going to have more of a talent pool, but it doesn't guarantee you win just because you have more of a talent pool to choose from. I don't think at all.
Right. That's true. Matter of fact, the talent pool could get watered down. You never know if the true talents, rising to the top at that point. But then we touched on Netherlands, Czech Republic. That one was a bummer for me. Definitely a stunner. Czech Republic taking them 2-0. But it happens, there's always these sleeper teams in these tournaments. The 2 games that we have left to play in the round of 16, Sweden and Ukraine.
It's going to be a bomb. It's going to be a great game.
You think so?
Swedes are playing really good. I mean, they're struggling, but they are reacting in prime fashion to all the shit that's coming at them. So
right, I think
they're still in it right now.
I think they should win this game against Ukraine. Now, from looking at all these other tournaments, the Swedes always seem to fish their way into the quarters. Sometimes they'll even get themselves to the semis, usually being an underdog. I don't know that they'll get there this time, but that brings us to the biggest game of this first of the 16, the biggest games, England, Germany.
Kicks off in let's see,
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes. So something interesting I learned about this. England's the favorite, I believe. No, Germany's the favorite. I don't remember which is.
I don't know. I don't.
Anyway, something that's interesting is that the last time, because they're playing in Wembley Stadium, so obviously England's got a little bit of a
home field advantage.
Home field advantage. The interesting thing is that the last time, let's see, the manager for England now was on the national team 25 years ago, which is the last time Germany beat England
in
Wembley Stadium for this. So it's just an interesting little storyline to throw in there. Obviously, it doesn't really mean much, but something to put in the back of your mind more than anything. But it's gonna be a fun game to watch.
I hope it's as epic as both of the games yesterday, man. And then regardless of the turnout, it'll be. I just want it to be entertaining. You know what I mean? I want it to be entertaining.
Right.
I've watched some sleeper games, man. You don't get me wrong. I support Germany. It's where I'm from. It's my international side, and I support them every time they hit the pitch. But at the same time, I've also, just like the 1980s Broncos, you know what I mean? They put me through the ringer. So
so that should be a great game to watch. So in that bracket, as far as the next round, the only one we have set for the next round is Czech Republic versus Denmark. I think
it's gonna be a hard call.
It's going to be a tough game. And then the winner of Sweden, Ukraine will face the winner of England and Germany. On paper, I think really you should, England or Germany should at least get to the semis on paper.
They can't both get to the semis.
Obviously. One of those, whoever wins this game is what I'm saying, should at least make it to semis, if not to the finals.
I concur.
But, maybe they have that kind of an epic kind of game. I guess it's not usually a lot like American sports where these guys have such epic games that they're just worn out, the next round or whatever. But you never know. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. You got any thoughts for looking ahead on any of this stuff? What's your prediction for the final?
Oh, I'm not gonna say. I don't want. I hate predicting the final, man, because really until you get to the next round, man. You know what I mean? That's when shit really starts developing. Mm-hmm. And every time I predict the final, man, I always get fucking surprised and fucking, so I stopped doing that years ago. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just take it round by round. You know what I mean? And take it round by round is all you can do. I think we're going to go through to the next round. I think Germany beats England today. I think so. At home, even. Yeah.
That's it.
And that's my hopes. And if not, kudos to. I'm not going to say kudos to England if they win. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's a.
But I don't know that England if they have to, England would play Sweden then, right?
If Sweden wins today, yeah.
If Sweden wins, or Czech, or who do they play?
Ukraine.
Ukraine. Well, I think England, if they beat Germany today, they roll over Ukraine for sure if Ukraine wins. But Sweden could give them problems just because they're the styles of play, I think.
Right. Right. Yeah, I don't know. These kind of bracket tournaments like this, you know, you got the NCAA when they do it. I'm never even close on any kind of predictions. You know, anything can happen in these games.
As far as I'm concerned, any tournament that Germany is in is my pick to win the whole fucking thing. Period. Because they can.
Yeah. I'm the same way with Netherlands, you know.
Yeah, see, that's so weird to have the Dutch not out already.
Yeah. So
doesn't even feel right.
So yeah, we're there. We'll try and hit this up again when it gets into the next round. There's a bit of a break right after these 16.
I think the break, 16 goes into semis, then the quarters, right? Yeah. So yeah.
The quarters and semis. Yeah.
Yeah, quarters, semis. Yeah.
But I mean, is there a break between the round of 16 and then the next
tournament goes to the 11th, so I'm sure they're going to give them a rest.
Okay.
The heat has been really bad too, man.
Yeah.
When they're taking, which fucking doesn't bode well for fucking the World Cup in Qatar. Okay. I don't fucking understand it, dude. And this is very fucking, it's very political and very fucking tinfoil hattish, but I really believe that when they got awarded the World Cup tournament, I really think that there was some shady shit going on. And it's also there's some proof to that on record.
Yeah,
that some shady shit was going on between FIFA and the country of Qatar.
Right. I don't think there's really any doubt about it. I think there's been a lot of proof come out on that front. As a matter of fact, I mean, has Qatar do they even have their stadiums built, or?
They say the last thing I've read about it, and I stopped reading about it already because I'm just, but they're apparently they're ready. They have a plan.
Yeah.
We'll see, man.
They're just going to cook thousands of people is what they're going to do.
Yeah. If you got to take heat breaks in a tournament that's held in Europe, what are you going to have to do in a tournament that's held in the fucking desert?
Right. Yeah. It's going to be brutal.
In the middle of fucking summer. Well, no, actually, are they trying to play it? Did they change? I'm not sure. I'll have to look before we retouch on this. I'll have some more information on the World Cup.
All right. Cool. So that's where we're at on that. Other thing I wanted to touch on is the College World Series. I've been keeping up on that as well.
I did not realize that it's been in Omaha for a while now. That Omaha has like this deal with the NCAA.
Oh yeah, Omaha. It's in Omaha every year. The final.
How many years though has that been?
It's been a long time.
I don't follow college. Here's the thing. I don't follow college sports. Because I never went to college.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I can't get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the biggest reason I don't follow college sports. And plus, all these fools are going to end up. Most of these fools are going to end up playing pro anyway.
Well, in baseball, that's not necessarily. They might go into the pros, but you might not ever see them on a professional team. They might play in the minors for most of their career. But this particular tournament, down here, it's a pretty big deal. And not only is it normally a bigger
deal, than football, huh?
I wouldn't say bigger. Maybe in Mississippi, because Mississippi State is in the finals.
Sure. They play today. They play Vanderbilt today, right?
That's game number 2 is today. Yeah, they had game 1 last night. Now, what a crazy game it was.
How's that tournament work?
It's similar to this. You go through regionals, then super regionals. It's similar to this, meaning like it's kind of like bracket play, like in soccer. You got to go through regionals, super regionals, and I think once you get to super regionals, I think it becomes a double elimination tournament. And then once you get to the finals, which I'm not sure how many teams go for finals, but it's quite a few that go to Omaha. And that's when they start becoming, no, I think it's double elimination there until you get to the semis. And once you get to the semis, it becomes best of 3, which the championship is also best of 3. Now, who it is, it's Mississippi State and Vanderbilt, and they're in the finals. Last night's game was a good game, except for the first inning. The first inning, Mississippi State's pitching just fell apart. They had two walks that ended up scoring, 2 hit batters ended up scoring, and a 3-run home run. So they go down 7-1 in the first inning. Final score ends up being 8-2, I think. I quit watching about the 9th inning. But essentially it was 1-0 for the rest of the game on Mississippi State's side. And that's how I see this whole tournament playing out. Mississippi State has, Vanderbilt has better starting pitching. Last night they had, you know who Al Leiter is? He pitched for the Mets for like 20 years. Pitched in the pros for like 20 years. His son was pitching for Vanderbilt. So they have better starters at Vanderbilt, but Mississippi State has a much better bullpen, much better offense, much better defense. They're all around, again, on paper, a better team. Now, something interesting that happened this year. Anyway, Vanderbilt's up in the series 1-0. They win one more. They're the champs. But they play again today. Mississippi State wins. Obviously, they'll go to game 3. So what happened was Mississippi ended up playing 3 games. They went to a 3-game series with Texas in the last round. Pulled it out. They're a very resilient team, man. Even when they're down, which a lot of times they are down, and they have to come back at the end of the game. Very resilient team. Came back to beat Texas. Vanderbilt was playing North Carolina State, right? State won the first game, North Carolina State. Second game, somebody on North Carolina's team ended up, I believe, testing positive for COVID, right? Mm-hmm. So for protocol, a bunch of these guys had to go quarantine. So NC State was only able to field 9 players and 4 pitchers, right? Oh. There's usually a lot more players involved in baseball for rotation factors, right? And one of the players that I
played when I was a kid.
Right. So one of the players they had to use in the field was a pitcher, and he ended up playing first base. Had a hell of a game too. Had a great offensive game. Just had a really good game. But Vanderbilt ended up winning the game 3-1, which to me, NC State should take that as a pride thing. It's like, fuck, we didn't get our asses kicked, and we have nobody out here. You know what I mean? Well, then in the middle of the night, they tell NC State they can no longer play. It becomes a no contest for game 3. Took them out due to protocol. And, we've talked a lot about all the protocols that have been involved with COVID throughout the past year. And my feeling on this is I understand why they do it, but I'm thinking you have the rest of the country wide open doing everything, and you got these kids who are 1 game away from a World Series, and they just totally, I mean, again, I get it. I get the safety aspect of it, but people that's just not happening at people's work. Nobody gives a fuck about the people at work. You know right? What I mean? If somebody tests positive at work, nobody fucking knows about it, and they're not going to tell you to go home. You know what I'm saying? So why? I mean, at this point in the game, I'm like, why would you do that to these kids? I feel so bad for them. And it's not to say that they would have won the game
all
or
the
anything.
Seniors on the squad,
right? I mean,
that was their last shot.
Yeah, and it's not easy getting to a World Series. I mean, it's such a crazy fucking tournament to get there is pretty impressive enough, but to actually get to the championship game, and again, who's to say they may have lost that rubber game? Who knows? But the fact that they didn't even get a chance, and it was decided like in the middle of the night, I'm like, I feel bad for those guys. even Vanderbilt. So Vanderbilt basically got to go in on a technicality. Now, again, it's not to say that they wouldn't have won or didn't earn it. They got a good team. They had just obviously just as much chance of winning that third game as NC State did. But the fact is they didn't have to play the game. Obviously not their fault. It's not the fault of Vanderbilt. All they can do is play. Another weird advantage that it gave them was that, their pitchers got an extra day of rest. So they could start they have two incredible 1-2 punch in their pitching rotation. Vanderbilt does. But, again, it's not to say that, I wouldn't say it's an unfair advantage. It was just an unforeseen advantage that they end up getting because of that. We'll see what happens from there. I'm rooting for Mississippi State. I was a huge Mississippi State fan when I was a kid. I still enjoy it. That's why maroon was always my favorite color between them and the football team. Everything in Long Beach where I'm at, everything is maroon. All the football teams are maroon. Fucking the schools are all maroon. So that's always been my thing. But this year I was rooting for LSU. They got knocked out pretty early. But here we go with State. We'll see what happens. If you get a chance, definitely check out one of the games, man. It's a lot of fun to watch, and especially the pitcher that Vanderbilt's got coming up today, man. This guy, he's a beast, man. He's this big dude, and I don't know how fast he throws. He probably throws around like 95, if I was guessing. But it looks like he's throwing 200 miles an hour, man. This guy, he looks so big and strong. It's just like, I would be terrified standing in a batter's box against this guy.
It's amazing that Omaha is predicting $90 million pumped into their economy by this tournament.
Oh, I'm sure. And what's funny is, I wouldn't say a lot of it, but if you watch a lot of the other games leading up to the tournament, you don't see a lot of people in the stands. Almost every SEC game, but definitely every Mississippi State game that you see, even at the World Series, it's packed full of Mississippi State fans, man. Mississippi State fans for baseball are insane. They're absolutely insane. So, but yeah, if you get a chance, check it out, man. It's a lot of fun to watch. And those games, they go by pretty quick. The offense is always fun to watch because they still use aluminum bats, right? So it's fun to watch. But yeah, so I'm gonna be rooting for State on that. We'll see how it goes.
Nice.
I don't
England
know.
and Germany have just taken the field.
England
They just
and Germany.
did the Wembley looks fucking awesome, dude. I don't know what that whole big white truss arch is for, but
It's pretty cool.
yeah. But yeah, game's
All right.
about to kick off.
All right, well, with that, let's go watch the game.
Yeah, Deutschland, motherfucker.
So, hey, first before we go,
Well, yeah, let's not forget to mention our sponsors.
right, our sponsor, the Riff Rag.
Covering local music in Colorado, Southern Colorado, and beyond.
That's right. Definitely check them out. The new issue is out.
If y'all didn't make that fucking show, that Shade Fest show, you guys are dumb.
Yeah, we'll put a little clip in here, a little picture, show everybody. I guess I'm dumb. I didn't make it, but it would have been.
Yeah, well, you're in Mississippi too, bud,
it
so
would have been a bit of a trip for me.
you're dumb for being in Mississippi.
It's rubbing off on me.
The red. You're looking really maroon today, bro.
Fuck you. Anyway, yeah. So there's our thoughts on these two tournaments going on. We just thought we'd do something a little different today. Anyway, until next time.
Yep.
All right. You guys have a good one.
Peace out, fuckers. Go Deutschland. Here's me, still waiting on you.